Ex-Beatles member Sir Paul McCartney gave a free concert on June 14, 2008, in Kiev's Independence Square. More than 350,000 fans gathered to listen to the legendary musician, who were not prevented even by the heavy rain that lasted all day. Flows of water rushed into the Kiev sewage system, the basis of which in the center of the city was built in the 19th century. Klov is an underground river under the very center of Kiev. It has its source under the European Square. The Klov has two major tributaries, the Kievsky Brook and the Klovitsa. Back in the last century, Klov flowed on the surface, but due to the construction of Kiev, it was taken into the collector. The collector is very diverse. In one place, it is a rectangular concrete tunnel from 4 to 6 meters wide, and in another place, it is a meter in diameter pipe with narrow brick passages. The greatest saturation of various branches and passages is under the central Kiev Avenue, Khreshchatyk. In the middle and on the sides of the collector, as well as on the ceiling every 10-40 meters, there are manholes that lead to the roadway of major streets. At about 15, 3 young men and 1 girl went for a walk in the underground collector through which the river Klov flows. This place is located in the area of Khreshchatyk. The guys were not experienced diggers. In addition, they violated the main rule of safety. They went underground despite the thunderstorm warning. It was known in advance that there would be a downpour in Kiev on June 14th, and even the smallest rain makes underground rivers unmanageable. At 18 around, 2 of the 4 diggers jumped out through the cast iron grate of the storm drain. At that time, the entire space of the tunnel, through which the Klov River flows, began to rapidly fill with water. Vitalik, 22, and Luda, 18, had no time to jump to the surface. When they reached Khreshchatyk and took the last of the photos, the diggers noticed the signs of the collector wave: steam, water turbidity, and increased noise. 2 more experienced comrades shouted to the others about the approaching danger and ran to the nearest exit. The remaining Vitali and Luda hesitated to put down their tripod and camera, so when the main wave came, it was too late to do anything. On the forum of one of Digger's sites on June 15th, there was a record. "We, despite everything, believe that they are alive. Believe with us." Friends and relatives of the missing diggers really believed until the last moment that Luda and Vitalik could be found alive. Although every day there was less and less hope for a miracle. For several days, joint efforts of rescuers and diggers organized the search. The broken camera of one of the victims was found. The flash drive in which was found to be survived, and by it was possible to restore where the guys had reached, as well as the approximate time of death. One body was found a few days later, a dozen kilometers downstream of the Dnieper. 3 days passed from the moment of discovery to identification. The fate of Lyudmila's body is not known. Until it rains outside, the river Klov is peaceful. The water reaches only to the ankles. But as soon as precipitation begins over Kiev, it immediately becomes deadly down below. During a downpour, within a few minutes, the water level in the collector begins to rise rapidly. The phenomenon has a wave-like character. The water comes in waves with some interval inside the collector tunnel. The flow of water has great force and is capable of knocking down a person if he is inside the system. Here is how one of the experienced diggers describes the collector wave on the internet forum. At the beginning, everything is calm, quietly dripping water from the drainage pipes. Then a small fog appears. It would seem to be nothing special. Somewhere in the distance, the sound of water appears. This is the collector wave, but it's still just forming. Then some small debris starts floating on the water. So what if it's trash? But then the water from the drainage pipes starts flowing harder. Then very dirty water starts to flow. Not much at first. Then comes a wave. The current intensifies in seconds. The water rises very quickly. Lucky for whoever happens to be near the escape hatch at that moment. Upstream or downstream, it makes no difference. If you get into such a meat grinder, you will die anyway. This was not the first case of death in the underground river. In August 2003, 2 diggers also disappeared. 15-year-old Sasha Kranyuchenko and 22-year-old Alexander Zinchenko went out to explore Klov. Unfortunately, a heavy downpour broke out in the afternoon, which led to the tragedy. The body of the young man was found the same day. The body of the girl was found only a week later. A memorial plaque was erected at the place where the boys went underground for the last time.